Imagine drifting through your dreams when slowly, you begin to become aware of your surroundings. You realize you're in bed awake and turn to move, except, you can't move a muscle. If that's not frightening enough, you being to sense there's something or someone in the room with you, a shadowy figure starts to loom over your body, but you're powerless to do anything. It sounds like the familiar plot of a horror movie. But sadly, these experiences are all too real for people who suffer from sleep paralysis. A 2011 study estimates that 8% of people will experience the condition in some way during their life, but with so many instances being written off as some other cause, the true number could be much higher. It's a horrific feeling. You wake up in the middle of the night and are fully aware of your surroundings, but you can't move. You're paralyzed. And as the seconds tick by, you become more and more frightened until you fall back asleep or slowly gain movement again. Or maybe you wake up and perceive there's a presence in the room, something meant to harm you or threaten you, filling you with terror before, again, you drift back to sleep. These instances, sleep paralysis and sleep hallucinations, also referred to as sleep demons, can be incredibly scary things to experience. And, yet, aside from the fright, they're harmless. They're simply the results of disrupted sleep. Still, that doesn't help quell the fear when they happen. We talked to sleep disorder specialist Alicia Roth, PhD, about what causes these conditions and what you should know if you ever experience them. What is sleep paralysis? The first component of this is sleep paralysis, a condition when a person wakes up but is temporarily unable to move. When it happens, it can feel absolutely terrifying, but, Dr. Roth assures us, it is a completely benign condition. This happens when there's a malfunction between REM, rapid eye movement, sleep and wakefulness, says Dr. Roth. These occurrences, she says, affect about 10% of the population. Not to be confused with deep sleep, REM sleep is a point in your sleep cycle when your brain is very active. So active, Dr. Roth says, if we looked at your brain activity on a polysomnography, PSG, during REM sleep, it would look a lot like it does when you're awake. There are a lot of different things passing through your mind during REM sleep, some of which you remember as dreams, she continues. And one of the ways our bodies protect us during this period of REM sleep is to paralyze us so that we don't act these things out in our sleep. For those who experience sleep paralysis, the problem comes when there's a disruption in that transition between REM sleep and waking. You're consciously waking up, but that protective paralysis from REM sleep hasn't fully subsided yet, Dr. Roth explains. For this reason, most people who experience sleep paralysis do so towards morning. But, Dr. Roth notes, it's possible to experience it at any time. So, sleep demons? Really? Yes, really. Or something like them, something scary. Just as sleep paralysis occurs when there's a disruption in your sleep cycle, so too, is it possible to have your sleep cycle interrupted in a way that you experience vivid dream-like hallucinations, or your dream state brain interprets something real as something altogether different. For instance, you might mistake your cat sleeping at the foot of the bed as some sort of goblin. While many experience them when waking up, called hypnagogic hallucinations, it's all possible to experience them while in the act of falling asleep, hypnagogic hallucinations. Again, REM sleep is a very active time, Dr. Roth notes, and your brain is bringing that dream state to wakefulness. These hallucinations aren't dreams, though, she clarifies. You're conscious, but it's another overlap between sleep and wakefulness. They're also not necessarily always visual, she adds. Most people experience them visually, but they can be tactile, kinetic, olfactory, or auditory. Why demons? These hallucinations don't necessarily manifest as demons, Dr. Roth says. Sometimes it can be a visual cue, as previously mentioned, or it could be something else. Some people describe it as something scary or unsettling.